welcome back to the third annual Ghouls and Goblins event here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about 1987's The Lost Boys. Yes, Lost Boys was directed by Joel Schumacher, and today we're going to be celebrating that film and why I think it reinvented the vampire subgenre. Give this video a thumbs up. When we think of vampire films, great vampire films, we think of Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula. We think of Bela Lugosi, his Dracula film. We think of Christopher Lee as Dracula. There are several actors taking on the role as Dracula, but when it comes to the Lost Boys, I don't hear an argument. I don't hear the Lost Boys in that conversation. I think it should be directly in that conversation. Let's talk all about the Lost Boys. If you haven't seen Lost Boys, or it's been some time, then just give you a refresher of what the movie's about. When a recently divorced mother and her two teenage boys move to a coastal town to stay with their father, it doesn't take long for the brothers to realize there's more than meets the eye, and there might be vampires in town. To me, what the Lost Boys really represents is it's okay, for the outsiders to be cool and like horror movies. It's okay to be an outsider and accept who you are. Like I said, there's a couple brothers and a mom, a little family that move into a coastal location. It's gorgeous. A lot of, it's a summertime, and Jason Patric and Corey Haim, a little brother, big brother, total opposites, growing up, teenage life. To me, there's nothing big to latch on to Corey Haim's character until we meet Corey Feldman and his co-star, aka the Frog Brothers, in a comic book store. We sort of get to learn more of Corey Haim, and that he's in the comic books. He has a dog. He's your typical teenager, right? I think at the time, Joel Schumacher had the mindset of, let's take a rock and roll lifestyle approach, sprinkled in with some little bit of pulp culture. Let's have some bright lights. Let's have some music. Let's have this party lifestyle and mix it up with vampires. What we don't know is how long have these vampires have been around. We're introduced to a biker gang that is led by Kiefer Sutherland. He plays David. You can tell right off the bat, these guys are up to no good. They're just going to cause trouble. It's not revealed right away that they are a gang of vampires. No, we get to know them, and they are established in this film, and how these brothers are connected to this gang. Jason Patric, he's the 1980s James Dean looking, sunglasses, motorbike, a drifter. It's perfect for this era. I mentioned there's, the bright lights and, the colors and the pop culture vibes to it. Well, all that takes place near the Santa Cruz Beach boardwalk. It really uplifts a portion of this movie. There's no horror vibes. It's more of like a concert vibe. In particular, there's a character who is shirtless and playing a saxophone. We get all that on screen. First and second act, these characters are so established, and towards the end of the second act, that stuff is revealed. We're let into that vampire world by Kiefer Sutherland's David. He is he's an outsider also. It feels that way. It's like his bike gang, him and his bike gang, do whatever they want and get away with it, and don't care about the ins and outs at that time. When it comes to the biker gang, they put together this nice portrayal of what people see when they're out at night in society. Once we get a big vampire reveal, we know their sinister agenda. I think they're kind enough to let Michael, who is Jason Patric's character, into their gang, let him in, because they know he's a drifter and essentially a lost boy just like them. And it really innovates the storytelling in that aspect. So like I said, there's a lot of storytelling, a lot of little subplots here and there when it comes to the Lost Boys. Corey Feldman and his co-star, the Frog Brothers, they are owners of this little comic book shop on the boardwalk. From the moment they step on screen and interact with Corey Haim, a little bit paranoid, but overall we kind of get the gist of they know more than we do. Corey Haim is in the dark with everything. He doesn't know until things are shoved in his face. Like for instance, Corey Feldman gives a comic book recommendation that has to do with vampires, and it's kind of a hint of, hey, watch your back because this town's not so cheerful. But yeah, they become friends, and again, it's about acceptance. The Frog Brothers eventually, Corey Haim, they team up. They accept one another, accept that there are vampires, and they're not to be messed with. And it becomes, it's a race for survival, a dire situation. And that's part of the magical storytelling in this film. You're probably wondering, what about, the vampire blood-sucking coffin aspect? There are subtle moments of those things, but again, it's part of the ride, part of the journey. The story takes us there. We find our characters in a tavern during the day, and we see this biker gang, who are in fact a group of vampires. They are hanging upside down, and Corey Feldman has a stake and stabs one of them in the chest, and that's what really is the catalyst for everything unfolding, really. Yeah, like I said, if you haven't seen this movie, it is a must-watch vampire film. It's cool. It reeks of coolness. Everything about this, even from the front cover, is like, hey, we're cool. It's cool to like vampires. It's cool to like horror movies. We accept you. It's okay to feel lost. After watching the movie several times, I think that's like the commentary in the back, quietly sitting in the background. Yeah, this movie it's just fun. Overall, it's a fun vampire film with a couple of big surprises. I don't want to, just blabber on about, but yeah, if it's been some time since you've seen The Lost Boys, it's time to revisit it, and now's the perfect time to do it. Guys, give this video a thumbs up. Plenty more content to come. Consider subscribing if you're new. If you just saw my channel for the first time, I'm Joel. I talk movies, physical media on the side, some movie reviews, of course, a little bit of entertainment out of your day. Stay tuned for more content, guys. Take care.